do your best work. And now that we're going to send in a client and they're going to be like, I want to change that one little thing. And what it is like, they teach you grid structure. And so then that little thing is not in grid. And you're like, how do I reconcile this? This is my work. So I quickly realized that wasn't going to be a good fit for me. And so I floated around a bit for just waiting tables, and doing my artwork, and then I
Did you end up at a law firm?
I did. That's what I was going to say. I literally just kind of stumbled into a job at a law firm. I was out telling people I just wanted a job and I didn't care what it was. I just wanted a paycheck, and I wanted to work daytime. I didn't want to work nights anymore. And it turns out the guy who was bartending at the bar I was hanging out with all of my restaurant friends, happened to work in a law firm. And so he goes, "Psst, come on down here. I want to talk to you." And I was like, okay. And I was like, this is a little strange and a little creepy. And he goes, do you mean what you say about wanting a day job? And I said, yeah, absolutely. And he said, bring me your resume. There's an opening at the law firm that I work in. And I'll get you an interview. And so I said, okay. And so the next day I took him in my little resume and my little made up business card. And I had an interview the following week and was hired by the following Friday.
What did you do for them?
Well, I started as an administrative assistant, which basically meant that I worked for a number of departments. So I worked in recruiting, development, marketing, library, accounting, receptionist desk when the regular receptionist wasn't there.
Wow. But you still did your art.
I did. I didn't do it as regularly because it a lot of time and energy goes into give you a paycheck and they kind of expect you to do your job.
Yeah.
So finding that time can be a little trying. And so it wasn't until, so I worked my way up in this firm, despite myself. And I ended up eventually being like the manager of professional development, training, and recruiting. And one day I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. I don't think I can do it. Because I would watch, I think it was PBS had these shows that were on, and this might make me cry, I don't know, like artists and makers, like along those lines. And I would sit on my sofa and I would just cry. I would it wasn't, and I didn't really sob or anything. I didn't, it wasn't like overly dramatic. It was, and just, I think by the third time it happened when I was watching one of these shows, I was like, I think I'm betraying myself. Like I'm not doing what I'm put here to do. And thought about it a little bit more. How can I make it happen? And so luckily my boyfriend, who's now my husband, I talked to him about it. I finally just admitted, that I wanted to make a change. And he goes, okay, let's make a plan. And so I said, okay. So we made a plan, and on January 3rd of 2012, I woke up and I said, how do you feel about today being the day? He went, works for me. And I went, okay. And then I just, I ended there was one person I wanted to tell this, that I was leaving first. Like I owed it to her to tell, it was she was in the trenches with me and I just owed it. And she wasn't there on the 3rd. So I waited till the 5th. But I really felt that it was I would not have felt right if she'd heard it secondhand from anybody else.
How long were you working there before this happened? Was it a year or years?
15 years. I was there for 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I was there for a very long time. Yeah. Yeah. I got I loved the people. And so I got hornswoggled.
I like that term, hornswoggle.
Yeah, hornswoggled.
All right. That could be a piece of art right there, I think.
Right?
What does a hornswoggle look like? I like that.
I'm not even sure what that would look like.
Get the wheels turning. Oh, I like that.
That's right.
Why do you think it took so long?
I think probably money was good. I think also there is a long history of the world telling you that you can't make money at doing art. And so I think that there is, I'll say that societal force that says, oh, this is a real job and doing art is not a real job, because you enjoy it. It's fun, but you're going to starve, for a long time. And this is fantastic. I get to go to work every day and see these people, and so I think that was really the hardest part. Like, I didn't want to leave those people. And so, cause I'm a very low, but I will tell you, someone the other day asked me, would you ever go back? And I was like, no. I miss the money, but I don't miss I won't wake up one day and go, ooh, I really wish I stayed. I really, I'm happy with the decision I made.
As are we. Or else you wouldn't be here. See how it all works out. So you did have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it? Was it to seek out artwork or create stuff that you could sell? What do you think? What else?
Well, the plan was really more along the lines of, get the bills paid off, consolidate. Like, so, when I bought my home, I did it with an eye. And so my mortgage is what I don't even know that you could get an efficiency in the city anymore for what I pay on my mortgage. And so I have a couple of acres. There are two different pieces of property. So I always have that as like the second piece is my like trap door, things get, push come to shove. I can always sell the other, piece of property. And so I think it's just along the lines of consolidation, letting some things go. And I did have another job that I went to work part-time. And so, and I had actually negotiated part-time work with the law firm that still paid me a great little salary and benefits. And I was just done. I ended up going to work at a museum and I loved it. Like I'm furloughed right now, but I loved going in, and it was like getting paid to learn about art, and so I'd wander the galleries and be like, oh, how did they build that? How did they make that? And and I was surrounded by people who had the same love and affection for creativity and art that I did. And that was invaluable to me in the sense of, I had my people, so to speak, like that I could talk and say, this is what I want to do. This is it. And so, and I would still help people get jobs, like, because I was a recruiter. So I'm like, oh, I'll help you get that, And so, it was just a really good space to be in. It was a great place for me to step out and meet a lot of people that were doing like-minded things.
Which museum was this?
The Phillips Collection in DC. It's the first American museum of modern art. It was established in, I think 1918. I think it opened its doors in 1921. Wow. And it as a memorial museum. And oddly, Spanish influenza, the pandemic, the father of the family, I think had a heart issue he passed away from. And then within that same year, one of the sons passed away from Spanish flu. Oh. And so the remaining son and his mother decided to turn the museum into a memorial, and say they want to take something so tragic and turn it into something beautiful. And so they opened it up. They really were firm believers in that art lifted you to everybody.
And it does, obviously.
It does indeed. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, over 100 years.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. The centennial's coming up. Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. It's still there. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Beautiful place.
What do you do there?
I do all sorts of things. I started as a museum assistant, which is basically a guard, and I would just be like, 2 feet back, please. And then I worked in the shop as a supervisor there. And I've done special projects with education department. I've done things with the adult programming and the such. And so I did like a draft and draw series, and a really fun one that was the first time they'd allowed drawing back into the museum, I think, in quite a while. Mm-hmm. And it was all surrounded by like Toulouse-Lautrec, because that was the show that was up. And so we had, I had two friends who were flamenco dancers. So we brought them in as models. They dressed up as Moulin Rouge girls. It was phenomenal. We had French music playing. It was just everything that an event should be. It was wonderful.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing when you're actually in the environment you want to be in, the space, and then that creativity is all around you. Mm-hmm. I mean, inspiration everywhere you look. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is, and it's just, and there's so many people with so many creative ideas and ways to make things happen, and it is a really good, it's a lesson in, I'll say, the power of place.
I got to see Starry Night in person.
Oh, very nice.
It's at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. And there was a person making sure, don't get too close.
Yes.
Damn, it's like I'm in the presence of a celebrity here. This is Starry Night.
Right.
This is the real thing.
Like, can I take a selfie?
Yeah. No. Just taking it. Now, what made you decide to become an art instructor?
Oh, okay. My secret, which is not such a secret, anyone who listens will know this. Like anyone who knows me knows that my desire is to be the next Bob Ross.
That's a good.
And I consider him my first instructor. Like I grew up watching him, and there is still something that I teach And I'm going to say it's him because